All right, looks like we are live on the YouTube. Late night gun chat here. We got Pat, real man, a genius.
Hello, everyone.
What's up, Pat? How you doing tonight?
Oh, coming across 4 time zones. Let's rock this thing.
I know.
I just got that notification. Let me mute my phone so I don't get more.
Yeah, I heard that. Worst thing is when you're on your phone. Oh, the first one in here tonight is Alaska One Andy. Good to see you, man. I was going to guess it was going to be brownies for my fat. He's number 3. He's number 3. American Fitness, John Eifer. Hey, good evening, everybody. Nathan Manley, what's up? 67 Rebel, SST AMC. And Bash Matrix. Good to see you. I'm trying to start this a little earlier now that I don't have football. And because we got killed in our last game for the championship. Like, we didn't even show up for a championship game. John Fazer, what's up, man? All right. So
all the usual names.
Yep. A lot of people in here so far. Got all the regulars. That's good. I appreciate it. Everybody here is a regular, and that's cool. So appreciate it. So anyway, tonight's chat, I was just going to talk. I guess the big news is the fact that the ATF might have just made criminals out of me and you and probably anybody else that owns an AR-15 pistol. Of course, mine fell in a boat. I don't know how it fell off the boat and onto the ice and still drowned, but it fell on a boat. We got a Ruger 7mm 08. Good evening. So, yeah, I actually have a Ruger 7mm 08. So, actually, it's my niece has it right now. I need to get that back. But anyway, yeah. So have you actually read the article? I sent you the article, didn't I?
About the ATF changing their mind. Yeah, I saw that. And I know what they've done to the honey badger, and they've sent it out to a few other companies. The other companies just haven't jumped up and been as public as Q. But this latest, as of the last couple of days, I've actually seen, I haven't had time to follow up on it, but I've actually seen a couple claims that it's not fully true. So I don't know if I can actually speak on that right now or not until I actually look it up.
Right. So I'm trying to look up the article right now. It's a good source. I'm trying to find it because so I can share it.
Yeah, with that one being such a hot topic, I wish I'd have read up a little bit more on it, but I know, like I said, they've done it to Q and they've hit a couple of other manufacturers with the cease and desist letters. But this latest that came from Mac, there were a couple of people detracting from that. I haven't had a chance to read up on it.
Well, Mac has it on a good word of a law firm.
On a good word.
Yeah, the law firm has it on their website. So I'm trying to find it here. So, man, looking on. I'm actually a member of Mac's Patreon, so because I think he does good work. So if you're supporting me, you're supporting Military Arms Channel and a few others, and it's just like unlock this host by becoming a Patreon. I am a Patreon member.
It's probably because you're going through an odd link and it doesn't recognize.
Yeah. That's weird. Yeah, I'm definitely a member. Weird. I'm trying to go in here and find it so I can get that article. I should have had it pulled up. I was trying to pull it up, and then the 4-month-old started screaming. You know how it works.
Yeah, I know how it works. Right now, I'm finishing a house and trying to sell one, and my social media time has been limited. I actually went 3 weeks without uploading a video, just trying to get that house done before. I wanted to get it done before election because I knew I could get a really quick offer. I just didn't want November 4th to happen and have a finished house. And I don't know which way it's going to go. And I didn't want anybody to be scared to buy. So.
Right. I gotcha. So I'm going to share my screen on the article there. And here we go. All right, so this is from a law firm that Max says is a law firm that deals with that. It says the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives (ATF) has recently changed the manner in which it interprets the statutory and regulatory definition of a handgun, thereby further limiting the types of firearms eligible for importation. These determinations are not public, so it is difficult for the regulated community to assess and track shifting agency positions. Gun Control Act at 18 U.S.C. 922I broadly prohibits the importation of all firearms into the United States. However, so long as the firearm is not military surplus nor subject to the National Firearms Act, Sections 925D3 provides a limited exception for those firearms considered by the ATF to be generally recognized as particularly suitable or readily adaptable to sporting purposes. Over the past half century, ATF has issued several studies and criteria on how it evaluates whether shotguns, rifles, or handguns qualify as sporting under the law. This is a problem anyway, because I don't see a sporting clause in the Second Amendment. All right. But
no, there is no sporting clause. The founding fathers just got through shooting the British in the face. I mean, literally, put it in context.
Yeah. The handgun factoring test is the most straightforward of these, with a point tally system that rewards larger and bulkier handguns. If a handgun receives 75 or more points, it is considered sporting and approved for importation. However, there is no ATF-issued sporting purpose test for a firearm that fails to fit within the definition of a handgun, rifle, or shotgun. And accordingly, the ATF has long held that such a firearm is not importable. Despite the ATF previously stating that there is no limit to how long or heavy a handgun should be to qualify as sporting under the Section 925D3, ATF private classification letters issued within the past few months indicate that the agency has shifted course by reinterpreting what constitutes a handgun. In company-specific letters, ATF takes the position that if a submitted firearm is too long or too heavy, it fails to meet the definition of a handgun under the Gun Control Act, as it is not designed to be held and fired by the use of a single hand. Firearms and Ammunition Technology Division, FATD, or of the ATF, which conducts an importability evaluation, says that it is taking a subjective approach to the statute by allowing the individual examiners to determine if he or she could fire the weapon with one hand without difficulty. This approach is resulting in some inconsistent determinations of which the regulated community should take note. Within the past few months, at least one HK91 pistol-style submission as light as 8 pounds with a barrel length of 8 3/4 inches and an overall length of 21 3/4 inches has been determined to fall outside the definition of handgun. This is a change from previous determinations where firearms are weighing over 8 pounds with 20-inch barrels and an overall length of 31.5 inches were held by the FATD to be handguns. Since the letters are not publicly available, it is impossible for regulated companies to know the full range of the FATD's determinations. This has serious implications for regulated business. In some of the new letters, ATF has begun listing the following objective design features when making its evaluations. So this is in some of their new letters. Incorporation of rifle sights. Utilization of rifle caliber ammunition, both 5.56 millimeter and 7.62, have been considered as such. Incorporation of a rifle length barrel. The weapon's heavy weight. The ability to accept magazines that range in capacity from 20 rounds to 100 rounds, which will contribute to the overall weight of the firearm. And overall length of the weapon, which creates a front-heavy imbalance when held in one hand. However, the ATF also noted that in the most recent private ruling that the above design features are neither binding on future classifications, nor is it any factor individually determinative. ATF explained without elaboration that the statutory and regulatory definitions provide the appropriate standard in classifying the firearm. ATF concluded that a firearm that is too large, too heavy, or otherwise designed to be held and fired in one hand, as demonstrated by the objective features, cannot be a handgun under the statutory or otherwise not designed to be held in one hand, cannot be a handgun under the statutory definition, and cannot be subject to importation criteria governing handguns. In light of ATF's subjective and inconsistent analysis of size and weight, it is difficult to predict how the agency will classify any given firearm under this standard. Okay. ATF acknowledged in one letter this month that certain firearms previously approved for importation and determined to be handguns may have wrongly been approved for importation, and that such firearms may require a reevaluation. Beyond that, ATF has acknowledged has not acknowledged a change in policy. Instead, it argued that their consideration of objective design features of a firearm to determine and design or intended use is clearly not a change in policy. Although ATF has not developed a definitive list of features that determine whether or not an item is a pistol or a handgun, the non-public letters leave importers to consult the above-mentioned list to assess whether their existing import permits may be revoked or whether their new applications may be denied. Now, here's the big one. Consideration of certain handguns as any other weapons, AOWs. The new interpretation of handgun could have additional significant effects on manufacturers and gun owners. Under the National Firearms Act, a firearm that has an overall length of less than 26 inches and is neither a pistol, rifle, nor shotgun is classified as an any other weapon, AOW. This means that if the firearm under 26 inches is in overall length is determined not to be a pistol, rifle, or shotgun, it would necessarily be classified as an AOW. AOWs would require the payment of a tax and registration with the federal government. Under the ATF's new reading of the definition, firearms previously classified as large-sized handguns by the ATF may now require the registration of, this is crazy, under the National Firearms Act as an AOW. Possession of such a firearm without registration is punishable by up to 10 years in prison. Since the ATF has not articulated a standard, it is difficult to definitively know whether a large handgun is now an AOW because it may be deemed by the agency to be too large or too heavy to fit within the statutory definition of a handgun. The only definitive way to know is to submit the firearm to ATF for evaluation, a process that can take over a year. ATF reportedly believed that its new analysis is on the only way to conduct evaluations in the light of the Department of Justice interim final rule on improper agency guidance, IFR, a procedural rule designed to increase regulatory transparency. That position appears to run contrary to the purpose of the IFR, and so far the agency has not put it in writing. Further, one ATF private letter from this month attempts to shield itself from DOJ's IFR by indicating that the letter is not a final classification of the firearm and is not final agency action. It goes on to say if you submit an ATF Form 6 for importation of the subject firearm, ATF will take appropriate action. It appears the ATF is saying the letter is not the final agency action until a Form 6 is formally rejected. But given that this firearm was already evaluated pursuant to an ATF Form 6 application, it is unclear what the additional steps are available to make this letter final agency action. So, under ATF's new interpretation of a handgun, millions of AR-15 style pistols could be considered too large or too heavy to fall within the ATF's new interpretation, hereby making them unregistered NFA weapons, subjecting manufacturers and gun owners to criminal prosecution. Given the private nature of the ATF's classification rulings and the subjective nature of the analysis, it is extremely difficult to know for sure whether specific firearms fall within the new interpretation. This appears to be part of the continuing trend at ATF to apply firearm statutes in a more restrictive manner without informing the public, a trend that appears to be unaffected by the IFR. In this uncertain regulatory environment, importers and manufacturers should consult counsel before making significant purchasing, importing, or manufacturing decisions for firearms that could be implicated by the ATF's heretofore unknown and undisclosed analysis. And then there's all their sources right there. All right. And contacts. All right. This is the people at the law firm who wrote this, which is Wiley Law. Okay. So that is the information that Mac got his information from. So if people are saying it's not true, I apologize. So that is what we were talking about. That's a mouthful right there. So sorry to read that verbatim to everybody. I haven't even caught up on the chat. What do you think, Pat?
Well, what I'm interpreting out of that, I have a 500 Magnum that is 400 pounds, or not 400 pounds, 4.5 pounds, and it's 10.5 inches long. And I'm curious if they couldn't argue that it's difficult to fire with one hand.
Yeah, or too big and too heavy. Yeah, they could argue that.
Because, I mean, the thing is almost 16 inches long and just massive. But the thing is, if you can't tell me definitively what will put me in prison, I'm just not going to worry about
it. I heard that. I mean, my AR-15 pistol fell over in a boating accident when my buddy Jay and I went to the lake yesterday. Or Sunday. And unfortunately, that lake was frozen over. Good luck. All right, so hi guys. I don't have time to watch, but if you can explain an AR pistol, I would appreciate. What is the difference? Well, now we don't know. Now we have no idea what the difference is. Previous to what that article was telling us, the ATF considered it a pistol if it was had a shorter barrel and it had a length of under 26 inches, and it didn't have a stock on it. It couldn't have a stock or a forward grip or anything like that. It was considered a pistol. So you could have a 10.5-inch barrel pistol. Okay. Later, they came out with the arm braces, and to use it, actually break your arm so you could actually shoot it. All right. And that was actually designed for somebody who was handicapped and he couldn't hold his pistol correctly. So they put the arm brace on that, and then the arm braces went crazy from there. All right. I have 6 AR pistols. No, you don't. They're all drowned in the lake. All right. I heard it's only applicable for imports for now. Well, the problem is, John, if they are defining what a pistol is for an import, they got to turn around. I mean, it takes literally, hey, this is our definition now. You're a criminal. All right. Literally. Okay.
One thing I would like to say.
Yeah, they are.
So many people a few months back were like, it's only a bump stock. It's only a bump stock. That's the ATF just arbitrarily making rules.
Yeah, and it's been several things since then. There's been a couple of ammo imports that they are, was the ZN1 ammo or whatever it was. I forgot what it's called, but I don't import Russian ammo. But and then there's the reformation that they declared was okay under the law, and then turned around and said it's not okay under the law.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah. So anyway, yep. Hey, James, what's up? All right. Okay.
Which I thought about doing an SBR just to go ahead and do this thing.
Yeah. You can have a 5-inch Glock with a 30-round stick, but not an underpowered AR-15. Makes no sense. I agree. I mean, you can sell an 18-year-old a sniper rifle, but he can't have a handgun to defend himself at the ATF. I mean, the whole thing is awful. Okay, it doesn't make sense. And that's what John Fazer says next. The NFA makes no sense. It absolutely makes no sense. So, all right. Careful, people. Max live stream an hour ago with Mr. Guns and Gear got deleted from YouTube, going against yet another of our rights. Yeah, probably. Yep, probably. I'm just sharing an article. So, no gun laws make sense, with maybe the exception on felons not having guns. Then again, making an 18-year-old a felon for a bag of plants doesn't exactly make sense. I agree. I totally agree. I understand, like, the 18-year-old causing damage with that bag of plants. Don't get me wrong, but agreed. Too heavy. WTF? Have they ever picked up a 500 Magnum? They know it's not for one hand.
That's right. What I just said. I can't see that on my screen. That's the only thing that bites.
Oh, okay. If a felon cannot be trusted with weapons, why did he let them out of prison? Why did we let them out of prison? That's what I'm saying. Once you were let out of prison, your full rights are restored. Okay, I totally agree with that, John Favorite. Sir, what do you think about that, Pat?
You know, there's a recent occurrence that I don't know if I should really make light of, but basically, I have the perfect argument of yes, if he shouldn't be in public, then he shouldn't have weapons. I don't know exactly how to word it in public, but I recently had an issue with an old dealing. I'll chat with you more about it, Chuck. But yes, I had a recent dealing that involved just that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll send you a little bit on that after we're done here.
Okay. Yeah, I understand that. It says unless you're Kentucky ballistics.
I don't know. I'll fire mine one-handed.
Yeah.
I think that's what you're getting at.
Yeah, you got to do that.
Hey, there's Mr. FNH.
Yeah, what's up, Mr. FNH? Did your time, you're free again. I agree. Yes, sir. They got released. BC, their committed crime wasn't just for life or a many-year sentence. BC, that because they were not bad enough offenses, nothing to do with gun crimes. Yeah. Isn't the 1847 Walker 9 pounds?
And it was considered a horse gun. Even then, it was considered a horse gun.
Yep. What about the BFR that can fire 4570 government action? Yeah, seriously. Like I said, though, everyone, careful what you say or post on here or any social media platform. Max live video from an hour ago with Mr. Guns and Gear got taken down and deleted right away. And if this one does, is what it is. All right. The 31 people are now informed. Maybe one person didn't know about it, you know, the 31 people watching. Like, it's free speech.
Seems like you get like 400 and something by the morning, right?
Yeah, 400 or 500 sometimes, yeah. And it's like, it's crazy. Like, I understand, like, watching my ballistics videos, but sitting back here and watching a chat, it boggles my mind. I don't go sit and watch chats unless it's live. Like, I don't go back and watch chats from anyone, just about. All right. Hey, dude, what's up?
What up, dude?
I also got unsubscribed from their channels once I posted a comment asking if it had happened to others also. Wow. That's crazy. Basically, any compact or full-size polymer pistol is front-heavy. Yeah, the Glock 40 is front-heavy and a little long. You know, I just ordered a Lone Wolf barrel for my Glock Model 40, 9-inch. Okay, you drop that sucker in there. Does that make it a SBR now or an AOW? It's crazy.
Speaking of which, boy, I've got you something. I can't handle it. I've got something that's pretty neat. It's long and unwieldy now, and it wasn't originally threaded for a suppressor, but I can't show it. He may be in the chat. A buddy David let me borrow a Tokarev, or wait, how do you say that? Tokarev?
Yeah, Tokarev.
Anyway, he let me borrow one that's threaded for a suppressor, so now it's unwieldy long.
Yeah, well, making a law that is ambiguous allows them to weaponize the laws. It gives them latitude to force as they wish. Absolutely, that is 100%. Otherwise known as a slippery slope. Definitely. Yep. We see it all the time in Canada. For instance, they now can't, I'm assuming, win cases against people over self-defense in some cases, so they charge the person who defends themselves with unsafe storage. That's just morally wrong. All right. Unrelated, you guys might find this interesting. My family traced back relation to James Otis, a revolutionist, and the man who coined the term "no taxation without representation." That's cool.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Eric Johnson, new around here. YouTube suggested I check you out. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. We're just two small time gun channels, just trying to make it in this lonely world. So, All right, welcome. I just watched that Mac video. It's gone. I wonder if that's why they suggested you to me. Maybe. And to be fair, do we know if if the discussion got really lively, sometimes creators decide to take it down. I've done that. I've decided to take my own live stream down. One time I was wearing like the school that I worked at shirt and didn't realize that it like peaked up just like the Under Armour did here over on this side rather. Like, and I've been like, delete the next morning. This is where I teach and that kind of thing. So I mean, I've deleted my own live streams before, so on more than one occasion actually. So something to think about. Yep, welcome to the live stream. It will sink quickly at the lake. Not right now. It's top of the lake right now. What's that?
It'll sink quickly at the lake with minimal bubbles.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Very few bubbles.
Own multiple long guns, including Ruger MPR, yet I'm having a very difficult time getting a pistol license because I'm 19. Federal legislation is so logical and keeps me from protecting myself in Arizona. Exactly. Casey Barmore has got it. Owns multiple licenses, including a Ruger MPR. The MPR, I'm assuming that's their match precision rifle. Yeah, exactly. So Casey here, he or she could, because that's both a girl or boy's name, I'm not sure. Mr. or Ms. Barmore here could literally go commit a crime from 1,000 yards away with that Ruger, but can't defend themselves at the ATM. That's crazy. All right. Absolutely crazy. And they're a citizen. They can go vote. So that's crazy. There are going to be a lot of boating accidents with weapons going overboard. I already had one this day. I can't believe that little AR pistol fell out of that pack raft. Can you believe that? That alpaca pack raft is usually pretty sturdy, but when the wind got up and it started snowing on top of the lake, man, we are not going to find that thing till we dredge the lake in the spring. That's crazy. Man,
I thought it was pretty neat. ARFCOM, they sent me a shirt for doing contracts for them, and it's a picture of a boat, and then there's just guns underneath it, and it just says crap. It cracks me up.
Nice. So getting away from politics and the ATF, which ought to be a convenience store. That's alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. What have you got? Got anything new and cool lately besides the Tokarev?
Well, I've got the Tokarev, and then of course you and I were both on that Henry X, and I'm almost ready to tell you how to do that rail, if not rig that up for you. The Henry X, that Marlin lever rail. A little context for you guys. Nobody makes a full rail for the Henry. You know, you can get the 5-inch. Ranger Point Precision makes a Rhino that fits right on top of the receiver. Well, I've actually taken the full length Marlin rail and fitted it on the Henry. And I know you said that you were wanting a scout scope, and I've got this thing ready to go. So I've got that. I've made a subsonic 4570 load that I love. I've got a video of it. It's just like throwing hammers. There's no report from the rifle. You just hear the bullet down range. So that's one of the things I'm working on. I usually keep a couple things around. It's just like I said earlier, finishing that house just kind of threw a monkey wrench in everything.
Right. Well, that's cool.
But yeah, that Henry 4570, I'm enjoying that thing. I'm really cranking up on that.
Yeah, I've got to put the Ranger Point Precision brake on it. I got it like 4 weeks ago. I hadn't even put it on yet. And because I'm doing up our house, you know, that we just bought, and this is like the only clean corner of the house, so that's why I don't have my Alaskan flag up in my bear rug and stuff that I normally have. But yeah, so that's a great. I love the Henry X 4570. I did carry it the other day, even though I knew the Henry sent me new sights because it was shooting high and it was bottomed out, right? And I haven't put those on either, but I did carry it the other day because I was duck hunting at this lake. And at the end of this lake, there's a little creek that goes back into the woods just a little ways. And right at the boat ramp going into this creek is like right next to each other. There are salmon spawning everywhere, silver salmon that have just turned red. And I was walking the trail through the woods right above this creek to go to my duck blind in the morning. So I'm like, I don't have a good holster for like the Glock 40 with the light, Model 40 with, or the Glock 21 with the light. I don't have a good holster for those. So I'm like, you know what? 2 long guns today. Put the shotgun on the pack with all the ducks and the decoys and crap, and carried the 4570 in my hand with the O-light on it. So
there you go. Yeah, they made that nice M-lock right there on the front of that forearm. That's nice.
I got it.
But yeah, it's leaned up right here. I wish I could actually show it in a live stream. That's what sucks. One person does something bad and then it hurts the rest of us. But yeah, I've got it leaned up over here. I actually managed. Did you see that on Instagram?
Maybe.
That may be one way that we can get around it. If you can pull it up on Instagram and throw it up on the screen, you can. It's within the last couple of days on my Instagram. It's, well, you know what it is. Pat_RMG_.
Yep. And my internet wouldn't be so slow.
And that's my problem out here.
Yeah, we're right up against a mountain. Not those hills you have in Tennessee. We're up against a mountain.
My mountain's kind of mountainous.
Yeah, ours looks bigger though because like to my left is sea level, literally, and to my right is like 7,000 feet. So
so you get both horizons. That was wild. See, I'm for everybody that's watching, I'm from Tennessee, and I recently went to Iowa, and Iowa is just this flat expanse. And when that storm come in, that storm it was so huge coming in on you, because Tennessee, our horizon is higher. So a storm comes in, you just see the clouds. So I could just imagine you've got the low horizon of the sea and a high horizon of the mountains. That is pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. I think I got it right here. Let me pull this up and share the screen.
Yeah, that's a way that we can get around me showing it instead of handling it on the live stream.
Yep. Chrome tab. All right. Is this it?
That's it. That's the Marlin rail. I slid the scope back about 2 notches for a little bit better eye relief. Right. But that is the Excess Sights Marlin rail on the Henry X.
All right. Well, I guess you can't tell me exactly how to do that on the live stream, given, but that's cool.
Yeah. I'd sent you a picture, I guess, a couple months ago where I started working on it. Then I got too involved and couldn't pick the project back up. But now that is everything's Loctited in a shootable, ready to go setup.
Nice.
But seeing how low that is, most Henrys, when people put those Henrys on there, you lose your cheek weld. You kind of have to go from a cheek weld to a chin weld to actually get your eye alignment. That thing is low enough you can maintain a cheek weld.
Nice. Looks like your power ring on the scope is touching the rail. I guess it's barely clearing where you can't see it on the picture.
The rail actually is machined. It's not your flat top Picatinny. You can turn it. It's about 1/16 of an inch. That magnification ring is fully turnable.
Okay.
I can go from 1 to 6 with no resistance.
Nice. See, I just want the straight 2-power or 4-power scout scope out on the front, just because it's so freaking fast. It's like as fast as a red dot, but then I can still hunt if I want to take the gun hunting.
Yeah.
That's the reason why.
That's the reason I went with that Strike Eagle too. You turn it down to 1 power, and it's just the same as a red dot. You just look through it at 1 power. Yeah,
we got the 1 to 4 SIG Tango on my wife's AR. It's the same way, but it's actually first focal plug. So when you turn it down, it's literally a really tiny little red dot, and you turn it up and you put it on 4 power, and now you've got a awesome thing there. And this is your Marlin Dark series right here, isn't it? Or is it that?
Yeah, that's the Marlin Dark. I've done it up.
Oh, I like the stainless steel. Yeah, that thing looks sweet. I like the stainless steel lever gate. I guess you call it. I'm not. What do you call that on a lever gun? The side gate.
It's a loading gate. It's lightened. Yeah. The factory loading gate wanted to bite my thumb, and that one's lightened, and it just the rounds just slide in, slide right past it.
Right. Cool. All right. Yeah, that's neat. Okay.
But yeah, I went with the silver accent parts to lighten the thing up, add something to look at.
Cool.
Of course, there it is with the red dot. That was my first configuration, was with that red dot, that Spark 2, Vortex Spark 2.
Yeah.
I liked it really well, but what I want is, since I'll be shooting supersonic and subsonic loads, the Vortex Strike Eagle, I have the subtensions. So I can zero it for a supersonic heavy load, and then use the subtensions for further out range and my subsonics.
Nice. Yep, that's a good idea.
The red dot worked well out to about 100 yards, but I decided to go with the there's through the red dot.
Right.
But it worked well, but I decided to go with the other. And you can hit play on this. Will the audio come through?
That's pretty sweet right there.
That's 11.8 grains of Trail Boss.
Right. Now, with the suppressor on that gun, can you also use the tube? Could you take the tube out still, or do you have to load it through the side gate only?
That tube's worthless. I don't even touch that tube. If the aftermarket came out with a delete, I would get rid of the removable tube.
Yeah, I understand. I like the unloading ability of it, but yeah, I understand where you're coming from. Especially in bear country, you need something that isn't going to fall off of. So, yeah, those are really, really cool guns.
Yeah, we've been having a lot of fun with them.
All right.
But yeah, that was what I was wanting to show you right there, is that rail, and it works out really, really well.
Nice, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's gonna be pretty cool. So
we can discuss. Now, I did turn everything over to XS, and I said, hey, you've got half of a kit. Your guys don't have to work very hard to develop it. So hopefully XS grabs it and takes off with it. So you may, I don't know, if XS actually decides to do it, they may just be running wild trying to get everything done right now with the demand that the industry is under. So they may just be trying to fill orders instead of actually doing R&D. But I did send them an email and said, hey, look, you have half of a kit. You can do the Henry with minimal effort.
Yeah. All right. I have a Henry all-weather 4570. Would be interested in that XS rail and peep sights. Yeah. Now, you had issues with the peep sight on the back?
The peep that came with the Marlin and the Marlin front sight, it was 4 inches high at 20 yards. So that's just not serviceable. Now, if they were to come out with a front sight that were way taller, it's going to be at least 1/8 of an inch taller to even get it close to being regulated, because that rear sight was just dead bottomed out as far as it would go. And I was still 4 inches high at 20. So if you do get that XS rail, it's not going to work with that peep.
Gotcha. All right. Lake Superior is very, very deep. Yeah, I wouldn't suggest losing your guns there. The charge with unsafe storage is used to punish the person that defends themselves financially. Suing someone in the U.S. after a self-defense shooting seems like another way to punish gun owners. It is. Fortunately, the carry insurance here is pretty good. USCCA is what I use. And I've actually had to call them, and they, when I shot at the bear to scare it away last year in a city park, I actually called them. They had a lawyer ready. I was never charged, so nothing came of it, but they were ready. So I like them. That's why we have it here. That's why everyone needs insurance. Yeah, agreed. And then, did you check Weaver in Michigan for a full-length rail for your Henry? I did not. So hopefully I'll be relocating to Alaska in the next year or two, Anchorage or Fairbanks because of employment purposes. Hopefully we'll have a country in the next year or two. All right. Here in Minnesota, we have quite a few convenience stores that sell alcohol, tobacco, and firearms, along with gasoline, fishing, and camping gear. I need to be in that part of Minnesota, I guess.
Our gas stations near the rivers actually have a mild fishing selection, so I guess we're kind of close.
Chuck must have 40 cal internet. That's funny.
All that's some awesome internet.
Have you tried a speed test yet? Every time I do, they say I'm slow. So
I'm 7 meg at best. Period.
You know, I run the 40-yard dash sometimes.
Oh, my speed test is pitiful, dude. The best I ever get, 7 meg. You're supposed to be like 10 meg to be even considered high speed.
Chuck has 45 ACP internet speed, probably. Ooh, excuse me, I got 45 ACP brain speed right now too. Tallest mountain range in the world is Wrangell to St. Elias, sea level to over 18,000 feet. Yep, that is true. Here in Alaska, the tallest mountain from sea level to its peak. Now you might go, oh well, Mount Everest is like 8,000 feet more than that, and it is but not from its base. Wrangell St. Elias is the tallest mountain in the world from its base, and then the second one is Mount Denali. So both basically the two tallest mountains in the world from their base are here in Alaska. It's pretty cool. So if you were to look at Mount Everest from its base, if you could see the whole thing, its base is at 10,000 feet. I mean, base camp is 10,000 feet there. I mean, so, you know, the largest vertical climb in the world, if you want to make it to the top, is 18,000 feet. It's Mount St. Elias from sea level. So, and the story is when the Russian explorers came, I forgot who it was, but they go, okay, we're going to end Alaska here. And so a line from the top of that mountain due north, and that's still the boundary, that line going off the top of that mountain today. I don't know exactly where the line starts on the backside of the mountain, but it is perfectly in line with that mountain. And that's where British Canada ended and Russian Alaska began. There's a line going off the top of that mountain right there in the Panhandle curve where the Panhandle comes down in Alaska and goes straight up. So that's still the boundary today. Oh, Sean said you're the only 10 he sees. That's pretty bad.
I've heard that joke before.
Oh man, that's a bad one, dude. I hope you don't use that one on women. Well, obviously you don't. You're using it on Pat. So that's you need to get face, dude, Sean.
You got a second for this one?
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
One of my refrigeration jobs, all right? And this old boy, I called him my portly friend. He was just medium weight. But anyway, he had a crew working for him. We were up in Clinton, Tennessee, working on a refrigeration job. And he had this young guy, wanted to be an apprentice, 18, 19 years old. And he says, she's pretty, talking about the waitress there as we were eating out. She's pretty. I'd like to flirt with her. So my portly friend, he nudged him. And he said, ask her if she's from Tennessee because she's the only 10 you see. Wink, wink. So she come up and she's like, can I get y'all drinks, top you up? He hit her with that. And she goes, oh, honey, I'm so sorry. It was the funniest thing ever.
You busted that guy's dreams, man. He's never gonna pick up on a woman again. That's awful.
No, I was just a bystander. Nothing to do with that one. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry.
Oh wow, that's bad. Was she like married or boyfriend or something?
No, she was probably about his age, but their maturity levels were just a little off.
Generally, that can be true with male 19-year-old boys. Vortex is headquartered here in Madison, Wisconsin, where I live anywhere nearby. Anyhow, cool. I put Ranger Point Precision loading gates on my Marlin 4570. Huge improvement. Won't catch your finger and takes very little effort to load. I guess that's in my future. Maybe when I do a video on their muzzle brake, they'll send me one for free.
Yeah, those loading gates, it's a day and night difference to slide it in. I wish they actually made one for I've got a Rossi 92 that I threaded, and that thing will bite you. I wish they'd make one for the Rossi.
Right. I'm using 450 Bushmaster for bear defense, and if so, what bullets are working best? It's not what you hear of very much for bear defense. Occasionally, you'll see one at the range. Bullets that'll work best are your hard cast, your extreme penetrators, your copper solids. All those type of bullets are what's going to work best. They'll all do the job. So,
yeah, 4570 is the roughest on my steel. It breaks chains, it breaks bolts. The 4570 just has I know ballistically it sounds ignorant, but it has a different way of hitting, and my steel targets land. They speak to that.
Yeah. What's the opinion on 300 WSM versus 300 Win in a Tikka? Main use would be mule deer, goat, black bear, sheep, elk, all in grizzly country. Like heavy bullets, but a little worried about recoil on Tikkas. Yes, Tikkas have a shorter length of pull, and when I had a 300 Win Mag Tikka, I could never get the scope to where it did not hit me in the face. So if it's the T3 light, we just got it. I've shot the Tikka in like a 308 and a 30-06 and a 270, or we just bought a 270. That's my latest purchase. Is actually a Tikka 270 for Courtney. My buddy was selling it on a good deal, so brand new in the box. It's the Woodstock. The Woodstock Tikka is awesome. It's got the raised cheek piece. It's got the longer length of pull. The Woodstock Hunter is awesome. It's not quite as light as like the T3X extra light, but for me, and I'm not a long arm tall guy, but I just tuck tight into my rifle. And when you do that with a 300 Win Mag Tikka, even in a Nikon scope, and I've tried a Leupold scope, 3.5, 4 eye inch, 3 3/4 or somewhere like that in the eye relief, it's going to scope you in the face every time. And I put a limb saver on it, thinking, oh, take some of the recoil out. You did great against the shoulder, but now it used the shoulder as a fulcrum to come straight up into your face. So don't. If you're buying a Tikka, you don't buy anything above a 30-06, unless you plan on threading it and putting an extremely good muzzle brake on it. It's that simple. Or you plan on putting it in a heavier stock. So at this point, you might as well go without something that's not a Tikka. That's my. I would in a 300 Win Mag, I would look at a Savage. To be honest with you, something with the AccuFit stock, which isn't the greatest in the world, but it has a cheek riser, it has a good recoil pad on it. I would look at maybe the Long Range Hunter that already has the muzzle brake on it, or a threaded barrel. I would not buy a Tikka. If you're really lightweight, a Ruger American K Mag is pretty lightweight, and it's available in 300 Win Mag. 300 WSM, it really depends on the powder charge and the bullet, is whether or not it kicks less than the 300 Win Mag. So, I mean, if you look at the 300 WSM, you're talking about a powder charge that is relatively the same, supposed to get a little bit more velocity in a smaller package and a smaller, lighter gun in a short action. So does it really get less recoil? It just depends on which load you're using. So I wouldn't guarantee that. So my opinion on this is Tikka makes a great rifle. They don't fit me. They just don't fit me. They need a longer length of pull. They need a raised cheek piece on their standard synthetic stock. What about you? What do you think, Pat?
If I were to, it's been several years since I touched a Tikka. My opinion would be just no good.
Yeah. The rifles are great. The rifles are great. It's the stock. It's like the action and the barrels on them are awesome. Like they are they're naturally more accurate and better triggers than the Remington 700 in the good days of the Remington 700. But is what it is. Do you guys? So White Space Marines, also known as stormtroopers, do you guys ever stand on the Alaska line and taunt the Canadians? Yes, we say your mother was the hamster and your father smelled of elderberries. We tell them. Yeah.
I shall taunt you a second time.
That's right. All right. Sounds like heaven. Pat's apprentice, bless his heart.
No, that was my buddy, my portly friend's apprentice. I didn't do it. That wasn't me. I was just there.
Machiavelli, more like macaroni. I wish Ranger Point Precision.
There's my buddy David. Yeah, that's coming down.
Cool. James Pugh says, not a fan of the 270. Well, why the heck not? I mean, that Tikka's going to be a nice 270. To be honest with you, I got it because we had gotten that 6.5 Creedmoor on such a good deal that my wife was going to hunt with. And then, like, you know, it's just one of those things where, yeah, 6.5 Creedmoor can take down a caribou out to 300 yards, but there are times when you just see caribou at 400 and 500 and they're not coming any closer and you got to take a shot. And Courtney, when she shot hers, jumped on my 7 mag to take it at 340 and she dropped that. So like, it's like, the 270 is going to be better than the 6.5 Creedmoor for sure. And even though I was advocating for the 6.5 Creedmoor in that versus video, that stupid versus video that Chuk and I did, and it was like still the #1 video on my channel. Yeah, but the 270 definitely has a hunting cartridge, is much better. And you can actually get some long range bullets for it, like the 156 Black Aces, whatever I think it is. That does a pretty good BC, high BC too. It's the best rifle for hunting antelope to moose, some of that in grizzly country, and playing at the range for long distance shooting. I would go with 7mm rim mag and load it down with 139 grain. I use a 139 grain for everything here. 139 grain Barnes LRX. What would you go with, Pat?
Yeah, see, when it comes to antelope and moose, I am territorially, I can't speak. We don't have that in Tennessee.
Well, so, smaller than whitetail. Moose are just a hair bigger, just a hair.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. But yeah, it just it's one of those things where I am not in the area and I cannot speak.
Yeah, it's interesting. When I first moved to Alaska, I was walking my dog like the 4th day I was here. We had driven around looking for moose because we heard they were in town everywhere, right? So I'm walking my dog down the apartment complex where I was staying, and there's this little park with a lake in it right around our apartment complex. And we were walking down that, going to walk around, walk back. It was about a mile in the morning. I'm doing a little jog, and I have a flashlight with me. But you know how when there's a street lamp, that shadow just beyond the lamp, you can't see. Your night vision is blinded by the lamp, right? And yes. As soon as I was jogging past that, I heard something go and stood up and stomped. And I looked over. I said, still the biggest female moose I've ever seen in my life. And this thing is like 20 feet from me. And I go, Maggie, we're going to the other side of the street as fast as I could run. And that thing just stood up right there. And I was like, dang gum, the thing was just brown. And I did not see it until it stood up right behind that area of the street light right there. And that thing, I thought moose were the size of a horse. No, this thing was like the size of a horse and a half, you know? And I'm like, geez. And I've seen some big males since then that would dwarf this one. But man, it was the first scariest moment I've had with a moose in Alaska, you know, the first one.
I haven't seen moose, but we've got elk in our Smoky Mountain National Park here. They brought them in between Tennessee and North Carolina. Right. And then they're over in Cherokee, North Carolina. They've got elk over there, and they're huge, man. Like you said, you think of it as a horse? No.
Yeah. Yeah, and moose are bigger than elk, so it's like, it's crazy. Best barrel to use for my 10 millimeter conversion in my Ruger LCP 380. Thanks.
I like the way he thinks.
Yeah. 20 gauge Sabbath slugs for future video testing. I don't have a rifle barrel. A rifle barrel, a choke for a Mossberg. Send it to me and I'll do some. 300 Win Mag ported, tames it right down. Magna ported. Yeah. How does that affect accuracy, Chad? Let us know. As a left-handed person and someone with grizzly experience, I can't justify anything less than the 30-06, and I'd like more. You think the Savage Storm 110 would be yet better? Yes, absolutely. Savage Storm 110 would be better, and you can get it in 7 mag, 300 mag, 30-06. Yes, absolutely, it will be better. It'll fit you better, and you won't have to worry about that. So, definitely.
I've had the Savage 110 in 30-06, and I liked it.
Yeah, it's a good rifle. I got a Savage 111 right now in 6.5 by 284 Norma. So that's an interesting bird. So hopefully the video gets monetized and it'll come out tomorrow. If it doesn't get monetized, I got to re-upload it and see if they'll monetize it and it'll come out Thursday.
Yeah. The way I've been doing it, when they demonetize it, if it's yellow and I ask for a review and it comes back yellow again, I just delete it, re-upload it, and let it fly yellow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's better to let it fly yellow than it is to let it fly yellow and confirmed as demonetized. When they confirm it, they kill it, and I don't care what they say.
Right. That is true. Although there's one that they did, and I got 80,000 views on it. And I was like, crazy. It looks like they have not monetized it yet. That's crazy. Let's see.
Have you got any age restrictions this week?
Yeah, I got an age restriction on a 165 grain 10 millimeter video.
They turned one of mine over within 2 hours, and then they made the other one stick. And the thing is it was me and my 10-year-old. And if you watch their little video, it says that a child can shoot under parental supervision, and that's exactly what it was. And the biggest cuss word I said was doggone, and it's under the age restriction. That just kills me.
Yeah. Whoever's at YouTube doesn't even know their own policy. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. All right. No Winchester featherweight, and that would zap me from time to time. Too small length to pull and too light. Yeah, they can do that. That's for sure. Order a Savage Axis Gen 2 and 6.5 Creedmoor left hand for deer hunting here in Pennsylvania, Maryland. Just need to get a scope for it. Yeah, man. You'll enjoy it. I love 6.5 Creedmoor as a deer caliber. That'd be a great caliber. And I would take a caribou with it, but I got 2 6.5 Creedmoors. So we'll see. All right. Ruger also makes an M77 100 and 300 Win Mag, but it is an 8.1 pounds without the scope. Great if rebarreled for 338, but not Sheep Mountains. No, yeah, that's not a Sheep Mountain gun. I mean, I guess if you're looking for one gun to do it all, you need to consider the if you're going to spend the kind of money, consider the Kimber Mountain Ascent, man. They make it in 300 Win Mag. You're talking about a 6-pound rifle and 300 Win Mag, but its length to pull is correct, and it's the raise in the cheek piece is correct to where you're not going to get hit by the scope, and it has a muzzle brake on it already. Chook shoots his in 270. Doesn't kick that bad. I've shot to that one. Hunting ammo here got bought out. I literally was looking in Cabela's one day for 30-06 for a video for my buddy who comes with me to film videos. We were filming it out of his Tika 30-06. I was looking for 165 grain Superformance GMX, right, from Hornady. And literally there were 4 boxes of that on the shelf, and that was the only 30-06 ammo on the entire shelf. And I'm talking about a shelf that usually it's 2 shelves, and the shelves are 20 feet wide, full of 30-06 ammo here. And that was the only one. Same thing with 270. There was like 2 different kinds. 25-06 was bought out. 308 was bought out. And this was at Cabela's. And 30-30 was bought out, or almost bought out. All right. Military Arms video is back up. Maybe he had to edit something or something out of it, and he took it down and put it back up. So, all right. So, 7mm Win Mag versus 28 Nosler versus 6.5 PRC. So I don't have a 6.5 PRC or a 28 Nosler to speak of anything. I think the 6.5 PRC is here to stay. I think the Nosler calibers are going to be hand loader onlys in a few months. And the reason why I say that, or years, is because they just haven't caught on with anybody but sheep hunters who are always looking for that next flattest thing anyway. Sheep hunters just love that next flattest, whatever the next flattest thing is. And to be honest with you, I would go 7mm Win Mag if you want to be able to find ammo and have brass between those two. 6.5 PRC looks like it's probably here to stay for a while, but I wouldn't consider it. Like, I don't even know what store I would go to find ammo for it right now. So I know where to go to find 6.5 by 284 Norma, which is the same cartridge just about as a 6.5 PRC. In fact, I have a. Am I allowed to show the ammo on the live stream, or no guns only?
I think it's just a simple weapon.
Well, it's in my hand right here. I have a box of 6.5 by 284 Norma. I don't know if I can show it well. Yeah, it or not, but like, I know what store I would go to buy it, but I don't know where I could go find 6.5 PRC or 28 Nosler off the top of my head. Like, I know Cabela's carries it occasionally. It's gone. They carry one type of ammo for each, and it's crazy. So, even Hobson, hello. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that that word, but yeah, it's good to see you, man. Welcome to the live chat. Let me know if there's anything you want to talk about. You know, if you got some hunting stories out there or whatever, tell us what you use. Because y'all live in real Alaska, here in the cities, in the Anchorage in the valley. That's not real Alaska. This is like suburban Alaska, city Alaska. So, says posted 4 minutes ago. Okay, YouTube been weird. Yeah, it might have been real reposted. What was your dream job when your age was 3? I think I want to be president. All right, now I'd never want to be president. All right.
I wasn't thinking about a job at 3, man.
I was thinking about not messing up my diapers in the middle of the night.
You know, at 38, I'm not thinking about a job.
Who makes a decent, affordable rifle with a 14.5-inch length of pull? So you're looking for a long length of pull. I would say go with a rifle that has spacers. Something like the Savage 110, or something like that, you know, the AccuStock that has spacers, or like the Bergara has spacers, and just buy a rifle that has spacers and put an extra spacer in it. That's where I would go if you're looking for a long length of pull. All right, what do you think?
Our Henry X's are 14.
Yeah, they're too long for me. Yeah,
at long action, it's almost more than I've got.
Yeah, I actually have to pull the gun forward to get it up to my shoulder. I can't, if I'm carrying it like this and I do this, I'm going to hit myself in the armpit. I can't just, you know, turn it. I have to go, ooh, I got to pull it forward and get it to my shoulder with the Henry X. So the Marlin actually probably is a better gun for Alaska if you've got a good quality Marlin here.
But yeah, for that 14.5-inch, I would say just find one and use spacers. The spacer kits are easily, well, actually, if you're handy, you can just make it.
Yeah, that would be it. Out of my Winchester Model 70, has a 26-inch barrel. It's very accurate. Downfall is to it is like any porter breaker. It's loud for the shooter. Yep, pretty much. That's how porting works. Do people still use the gravel pit for shooting? My boss has an old 70 and Model 70 243, thinking about getting it. Yeah, hey, grab it up, dude. Nothing wrong with the 243. I know people have killed every game in North America with the 243. I have a roommate, former roommate, who killed a grizzly bear with a 243. All right, so he claims. All right, 2 of them, I think, or there were 2 of them at the time. So we got 72 people watching. Smash that like button. That's the highest I've ever had. Yeah, we're just talking and answering gun stuff. What do you think? Should he get the 243?
Yeah, I'm thinking go 243. And then shout out to Luke. He's one of my subscribers from a while back.
Oh yeah, he's been around for a while. Appreciate him. Sean Ricky, what round do you use for the 65 Creedmoor? Same thing I used in everything, Barnes LRX. I use Barnes LRX and everything but my 338 Win Mag. So that's, yeah. I'm going to use the LRX in 270. I use it in 7 mag. And I haven't killed any game with it yet, but out of my Bergara, that's Barnes LRX, shoots, I think it was literally 9/16 of an inch edge to edge measurement. You can't complain about that. 5-shot group. I wish I hadn't thrown that target away before taking a picture. Or I took a picture somewhere on Instagram, but so there's that. I plan on going to the range of the Bergara with a whole bunch of different hunting rounds and, you know, cleaning it, taking 5 shots, cleaning it between each type of hunting round we use and seeing what kind of accuracy we get, because it does kind of like a cleaner barrel, the Bergara does. And that's just a sweet shooting rifle, the Bergara HMR. And I'll probably, if I go winter caribou hunting on a snow machine, it's probably what I'm going to take, actually. So Barnes LRX. I do like the Nosler Accubon long range. It just doesn't shoot well out of my gun, but it'll be on the video tomorrow. And even though, unlike the ELDX, it doesn't shred apart at short ranges like deer hunting stand wood ranges, where it just acts like a VMAX, like the ELDX does. So I would definitely go with the Barnes LRX. You might lose some petals, but the core of the bullet's going to stay together. Generally speaking. Well, what do you think, Pat? Have you had any experience with the 6.5 Creedmoor, and what rounds do you like?
I shot a buddy's 6.5, and I wasn't the biggest fan of that model, but I would like to really try it again with a different platform.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking about building like an 18-inch battle rifle in 6.5 Creedmoor. Like, you know, like go to war. Like this is the Russians are parachuting over, and they're all ISIS zombies too. Like that kind of, you know, Antifa coming up. Am I allowed to say that on YouTube? Whatever. So yeah, like I've actually been thinking about buying an 18-inch, building an 18-inch battle type of rifle in 6.5 Creedmoor, simply because I have a hunting gun and a precision gun in it. And it was designed to be the semi-automatic caliber replacement, you know? So there's that. So
yeah, see, I'm a fan of that POF Revolution, and they make a 6.5 in the Revolution. Yeah. But the only one that I've shot is the Revolution, the 308, the direct impingement. You want to talk about something sweet? That thing is just freaking sweet.
Yeah, yeah. And don't get me wrong, like for 308 is like definitely better for like short range, close encounters and stuff. But it's like I already have 6.5 Creedmoor. Like as far as like a hunting round, there are much better hunting rounds out there. But you know, if you had to go out with one rifle, you know, an 18-inch 16.5 Creedmoor, you know, I'd much rather be fighting with a 6.5 Creedmoor than a 5.56.
Oh yeah. Know? And see, and there's like when I got into the POF, the one thing I decided shooting it, you know, 308, which actually if I stepped up to 6.5, it would take place of so many of my other guns, like my 458 SOCOM. It's on the AR platform. It would just make it obsolete to me. Just period. It would get rid of it. The only reason that I'd want to shoot it is because of the heavier bullets and subsonic capability. But it would kill that. My ARs, it would just make my 5.56s, the 458. It would clear out my gun safe.
And now your wife wanting you to build one, yeah. I don't think I would clear out my gun safe for a 6.5 Creedmoor. Like I would trade a 6.5 Creedmoor for a 458 SOCOM. To be honest with you, not advocating the trade here on YouTube. You know how the rules work, but you know, like seriously though, like a 458 SOCOM, you know, 9-10 rounds of you know, bear madness here in Alaska. You know, just some bear madness. It's crazy. So let's see. Night all, late here and work tomorrow. See ya, hey, dude. You get 308 down here, still everywhere. That's awesome, man.
Brownies from James. I'll give James a shout out.
Yeah, James has commented on just about every video he's seen on my channel. Like, it's awesome, man. He just joined the channel a couple months ago, or like not to join, but subscribed a couple months ago. So, yeah. Wow, we got a lot of people in here I hadn't even got to yet.
And sadly, I can't see them. My phone won't do the chat.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, let me take a break and hook my charger up. I'm gonna go silent for just a minute.
That's probably a good idea.
I'm at 33% and losing one every minute. Hang tight.
Yeah. All right. So I like the Kimmers, but they're only righty. I'm thinking about a Christian Sonata Mesa and Set 300 Win Mag, which they make left-handed in 7 pounds, but also heavy enough. Although 1540. If you found a Mesa for 1545, yeah, you need to buy that. That's a good gun. That's your gun, American Fitness. We've been discussing this for months on here. That's your gun. Okay, save the money. Awesome rifle. Save the money. You know, I would go 338 for Alaska myself, but whatever. You know, the snow yet? Yeah, we've there's some snow in sight, but there's not. It's been melting. It's warm up and melting. It's happened a couple of weeks in a row now. There's actually probably more snow in Minnesota than there is here in my part of Alaska. So Inside Freedom, another good channel. Go subscribe. He likes the 243. Yeah, that's good stuff here. A lot of people here in Western Colorado hunt elk with a 243. Yeah, I've heard of a lot of people hunt elk with a 243. GTM, what's up, man? How you doing? Good to see you. James Ratledge, 7mm weight or .708 or 6.5 Creedmoor. It depends on what you're doing with it. 7mm weight or 6.5 Creedmoor. Depends on what you're doing with it. Longer range paper punching, 6.5 Creedmoor. Shorter range out to 300 yards hunting, 7mm weight. I did a versus video. It's way back on last February or something like that, and it's actually gained. It hit the algorithm, gained a lot quite recently. But I would say 7mm weight for shorter range for hunting, definitely. For a youth gun, it really doesn't matter for like an 18-inch youth gun. The 6.5 Creedmoor doesn't seem to lose quite as much velocity in the 18-inch barrel from what I've tested, but I hadn't put it on the video yet. I don't have access to that. It's a short barrel and 6.5 Creedmoor, but a youth gun, I do have a 7mm 08 youth Ruger American Youth I bought for my 4-month-old son before he was even born, because that's what you do. You buy guns because you don't know if they're going to be legal when the kid's old enough to use it. So I got a 7mm 08 there, and it's a great rifle. Like my niece took it. They still have it. They took it caribou hunting this year. It's not gonna, be a bad round at all. It depends on what you're doing with it. I would go 6.5 Creedmoor. Although when I bought the first 6.5 Creedmoor, the Savage 116, y'all seen on the channel, I bought it because a friend offered it to me for a really good deal, and we did all the legal work for that and stuff like that. But it was an incredible deal. Like, you would buy it too, even if you hate 6.5 Creedmoor. It was that good of a deal, right? But the caliber I wanted was 7mm 08 for hunting. So now my wife can handle my 7 rim mag. My wife can handle my 338 Win mag. She cannot handle my 4570. She hates that, with the bear loads especially. With some of the lighter 300 grain loads, she's okay, but not that. But so the 6.5 Creedmoor, it's a light round. It doesn't kick that much. But if you're recoil sensitive, the 6.5 Creedmoor seems to kick a little less. I'm not sure what the .708 is. I don't know that caliber. Did you mean 308? I don't know what a .708 is. That's a pretty big caliber. If it's .708, that's like a 700 nitro. I guess you meant 308. Again, if it's 308, inside of 300 yards, inside of 400 yards, your bigger, heavier bullets are going to do better on game. Your 140 and 160 grain and 7mm 08 are your heavier bullets, and the 6.5 Creedmoor basically tops out at a 140. I have seen a 153 in a factory grain load recently, thanks to the Burger Hybrid. It's up in at a shop here, so it's definitely something we're gonna something that'll do the job. But you know, 308 is going to send the 150 grain bullet a little faster. So, and 308 can have up to like a 208 grain bullet. 308 can be a subsonic load for suppressor guys. So it really depends on what you're doing with it. Out of those three, you can't go wrong. Right now, with it hard to find ammo, here in Alaska, I buy 6.5 Creedmoor out of those three because I can go to the shelf and go get any 6.5 Creedmoor I want. I can't do that with 308, and I can't do that with. I might be able to do it at certain shops with 7mm weight, but in general speaking, I can't do that with 308 at the big box stores anyway. So, closest thing to moose I've hunted is Nagali in South Texas. 300 Win Mag is the recommended round. Yeah, they're a little bit bigger than deer, but they're not as big as elk, right? Kind of like caribou. Correct me if I'm wrong. So that's cool. Thanks, y'all. Thank you, man. Thanks for always watching. Panzer and Z, it says the 243. Sup, Chico? So Chico Wise must be in here. 69 watching, only 29 likes. Hit the like button for my brother. Thanks, Chico Wise. He's from the dirty South, from the same Atlanta area I'm from, man. So, Chico Wise, what city are you actually from? What town? I'm from Jonesboro, man. 243 is best all-arounder here in New Zealand. Don't y'all have like red stag and bigger deal down there? Bigger deer-like animals down there. So, yeah, didn't they import whitetails in New Zealand a while back? That's pretty cool too. All right, hanging out here, taking measurements of groups from the range today. Winner for the day measured 0.164 inches center to center at 100 yards with custom .223 mini Mauser and 55 grain Mauser ballistic tips. That's a pretty tight group. That beats my tightest group ever, which was .277 inches, but that was edge to edge. So, but that was with actually 55 grain 100 tap and an AR-15. That was my best group ever. What's your best group ever, Pat?
I'm tickled to get down in the .3s of something.
Oh, I'm tickled to get below .99. I'm tickled for that. But my best group ever is .277 edge to edge, and which is basically a single ragged hole the size of a 270 bullet with an AR-15, 3 shots of Hornady tap, 55 grain. That old JT distributing kit, man. I wish I'd never sold that gun. But man, I tell you what, I have been hard pressed to do that again, even with the same ammo and the same gun. So if I could do that all the time, you'd know my name, you know?
No, interesting enough, I shot a really good group, and M17 Glock is in here, David. Anyway, I just covered the group up with a dime, and I said, yeah, we're good with that, you know? Well, he actually took the dime, I think it's .711 of an inch, and put that in his ballistic thing, and it come out, and he said, you just shot a .49 or 4.49 MOA group. I hadn't really ever put numbers with it. I was always just like, that's good enough, and just went on. So
the redneck Tennessee measurement, you know?
Yep. If I could put them all right there, I'm good.
Really debating building a 458 SOCOM. Do you know of any downfalls with them if built properly? Make sure you don't get something with M4 feed ramps. They don't like M4 feed ramps, I believe.
Yeah, you want that nice blended, just a smooth, straight in feed ramp. And don't fool with PMags. PMags, they're meant to be double stacked, so they have a rib right down the front. So anything with a long overall length won't work in a PMag. I prefer the Lancer mags. I use Lancer mags extensively. And now with 458 SOCOM, it's also hard because you're going to want to tune the gun. See, I'll shoot it supersonics, I'll shoot it subsonics, well, subsonic and suppressed. So you've got basically 3 different, I guess, how do you say that? One's way overgassed, one's undergassed. It's a wide range. So when you build the 458 SOCOM, getting your right buffer weight, which it's just generally just a standard AR-15 buffer weight and spring, but you do have to play with it a little bit. And then, like I said, adding the suppressor, it just throws, it's a lot of experimentation. That's what we'll say. because the power levels of 458 SOCOM, you can go really high and you can go really low, and the bullet weights, they go from, like, you can go from that Inceptor, which is really light, all the way up to a 600 grainer. So yeah, it's playing with 458 is tough. You just kind of find your pet loads and run those.
Yeah. And now Darren, if I'm not mistaken, lives here in Alaska, so he's looking at bear defense loads. Probably not going to suppress it because you want the noise to help scare away the bear, to shock it, give it that shock value of getting shot at as well as getting hit in the head with a bullet.
So he may have it a little less than me because I've had so much experimentation. You'll go out one time, you think you've got it, and then the next time it just doesn't. You'll shoot it and you'll say, this doesn't make sense to what I did last time. So yeah, that's just me from, like I said, going from that Inceptor ARX, the really light, that poly bullet, all the way up to the D600s. And there's just so many bullet weights, so many velocities, and that type of AR platform, it's just tough to get it right. So if he's just picking out one or two pet loads, he should be doing really, really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's Chico saying hi.
Yep. Inside Freedom to say, if you got a shorter barrel, go 6.5 Grendel. Yeah, that's something to think about. My Mossberg Patriot and 308 Winchester is shooting about 1.5 inches with the S&B 165 grain solid copper TXRG, but it is still hitting 4 inches lower with that than the 168 grain SMK. Yeah, that's probably about right because 168 grain match bullet is actually probably not going as fast. So yeah, it's probably about right. Different ammo is going to shoot differently. So that's probably about right. Mossberg Patriot, I've always heard that it's about a 1.5 inch gun. You might have to really hand load and tune the rounds for it to get it to be really accurate. And if you don't break in the barrels, they won't get accurate at all. I've heard just about. So it's just they're a cheap rifle comparatively. So, all right, you heard anything good about those?
No.
The Mossberg Patriot. Yeah.
Well, actually, the Mossberg Patriot 308. I think it was Ty. What's his name? Not Tiberius. It's similar. He called it the one MOA rifle under $300.
Yeah, I mean, if you hand load for it, you probably can get it to be one MOA. That's true with a lot of guns, but so it is.
I can't remember his name. He's a long range shooter on YouTube.
Okay.
Tiberius. Yeah. Tiberius, or wait, Taboris Rex. That's it. He called it a one MOA gun under $300.
I'm sure it's capable. 460 or 500 mag revolver. I want to get one. I go 460 because you can shoot 45 Colt, 454 Casull, and 460 out of it. Three rounds, one gun, good to go. So
I'd load 500 for all three. That's what I would do. I've had a chance to shoot the 460, which I've got the 500. That's the Performance Center. Mine's a Cadillac with the big brake. They put me in the 460 VXR. And that's the 8 3/8. The recoil is so much sharper. I'd like to spend more time with a 460, but I personally own a 500 and I do prefer it.
There you go. There's two different answers, man. I hope we didn't confuse you more. All right.
But see, you like the different loads: 45 Colt, long Colt, 460. Yeah. I've got everything from 700 feet per second to 2,000 feet per second in the 500. So I cover that gamut in one cartridge.
True. I'm not going to hand load for every gun that I own. I'm just not that kind of guy. I'm going to hand load for my precision rifles and hand load for my defensive calibers. And that's that, that's who I am as far as that is concerned. So like if I want different loads, I would go get 45 Colt and 30 versus 454. Well, that kind of thing. That's where I'm coming from with that. The non-hand loader, you get three uses out of that. You can put in 45 Colt and take your wife to the range because it's not going to kick at all in that gun. And then you can put 45 Colt bear loads in that gun. If that's all you can handle. If it's all she can handle. Whatever. So there is that.
And we need to mention 454 Casull too.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, 454 Casull. So, hello from Florida. Love my Model 7D and 7mm rim mag. There you go. 6 inches. I guess he's talking about snow in Minnesota. Yeah, you got way more snow than we did in Alaska. So, if I climb the mountain right next to me, there's a lot more snow than that. But whatever. Western Colorado melting now. Snowed all day here by El Paso. Oh, wow.
We were supposed to go to Iowa this week and it snowed, so kind of glad that canceled out.
Yeah. Making primers right now. Well, that's pretty cool. All right. Have you ever made primers? I know he's talked about it before. Brass Tardy, you got a video on that? That's pretty cool. Oh, we got a super chat. Luke Tilley's got a super chat for $5. Appreciate it, man. That's awesome. Anyway, let's. Sophia, hey, how's it going? Good to see you. I still prefer 30 caliber holes for larger game. 308, 300 Win Mag, 300 Weatherby. Yep, there's nothing wrong with a 30 caliber hole, that's for sure. All right.
David, actually, M17 Glock, he was in my latest video. He landed a 44 mag on a 415 yard steel. Now, when I say steel, like you watch a Terran Tactical video and they've got so many pieces of steel, it's like a two-year-old sitting at a piano. They're going to hit something. Well, anyway, this was a half-inch or half-size IPSC at 415 with a 44 mag, just factory load. So he punched everything into a ballistic calc in his phone, and cold bore shot landed one on 415 yards. That was pretty impressive to witness.
Mm-hmm. That was M17 Glock. Does he actually have a channel, or is this just his YouTube name?
That's his YouTube name. He's uploaded a few videos, but he's been one of the big supporters of the channel.
Awesome, man. Well, everybody go subscribe and watch a few videos. All right, now here's a good question. Oh, Luke Tilley. Moving back to the free state of Mississippi soon, 243 will definitely be all I need. They have black bears there. I mean, you can handle a black bear with a 243, don't get me wrong, but they have black bears there. So, all right, now here's a good question. 375 H&H versus 4570 for pure stoppy thuppy power. Which one would you trust most? I would carry the 4570, but when you're talking about just pure foot-pounds of energy, I think the 375 H&H shines it. I would carry the 4570 because the lever action works quicker than the bolt action. But when you're talking most powerful loads, definitely, I think in most powerful load, even out of longer barrels, I think the 375 H&H, even if you put a 26-inch barrel in both of them, I think the 375 H&H is going to do the better job. What do you think?
Yeah, it just depends. A lot of the ballistics guys that talk about the temporary stretch cavity, if you can exceed 2,000 feet per second, that's where that magic flesh shredding happens. I'm just curious, does that 375 H&H break that 2,000 feet per second threshold that 4570 doesn't really like to break?
Yeah, let's see, because I don't have the 375 H&H magnums memorized off the top of my head. I did when I was a kid, and
that's me too. But a lot of those guys that go on, terminal ballistics versus flesh, they say 2,000 feet per second. 4570, you can get 2,000 feet per second, but you generally start going into a lighter weight bullet.
Mm-hmm. All right, 375 H&H Magnum, Holland Magnum with a 24 to 25 inch barrel, include 2,900 feet per second with 225 to 235 grain bullets, 2,800 feet per second, so 250 grain bullets, 2,750 with 260 grain bullets, 2,700 with 270 grain bullets, 2,600 with 300 grain bullets, and 2,400 feet per second with 350 grain bullets. So 2,400 with 350, that's better than a 4570 is going to do. So pure stopping power, that's that. The 375 Ruger is going to get about 100 feet per second more than the H&H out of the same length barrel. So I would have to say, that's a tough one. You know, I'm going to carry because of the style of gun is better for carry, the 4570.
Yeah, that's me.
But if you're going hunting for brown bear or something dangerous that can hunt you back, then 375 H&H is not a bad choice where you can take some shots at better ranges more accurately. So, yes, GTM, thank you, sir. Hey, everyone, make sure to give the video a thumbs up so YouTube knows all what kind of content we like. Exactly.
Like an ARFCOM viewer. Does GTM watch ARFCOM?
I don't know.
It's
the first time I've actually seen him in the chat, unless he was here last week and I can't remember because I'm dumb. I thought you guys were going to talk about hunting moose. I have not actually killed a moose. You know, I've hunted caribou and black bear and brown bear up here, and I've killed one of each of those, but I haven't, and 3 caribou, but I have not killed a moose since moving here. No, I'm a school teacher and football coach, so caribou you can do in a weekend trip. Moose, it could take the whole weekend just to get the moose out of there once you've killed one. So I've been at 100 pounds a trip on your back. One person makes 9 trips for the average moose. Okay, 9 trips at 100 pounds. So you got to have friends to help you get it out of there. And if you leave any part of it there, you're likely to get eaten by the bear that's eating on it when you come back. That's what happened to that one kid that got killed this year. He was from Ohio and he left it overnight like he would a whitetail in Ohio, come back and the bear ate him. I was like, sorry. I mean, you know, I hate to say it, but that's kind of, it's tragic. Don't get me wrong. It's bad. It's also a Darwin Award. I mean, that's just not knowing where you're hunting, you know? I mean, sorry to be disrespectful to the dead, but that's when you leave something overnight in Alaska. Why would you do that? I mean, every place else has coyotes now anyway. Why would you leave a deer overnight? And like, I mean, I guess Ohio may not have coyotes. It's too far north, but like, everywhere I've hunted in the South had coyotes, so you wouldn't leave a deer overnight. I know like Kansas and Wyoming and all of them have coyotes, so like that's something I heard about out up north. Leave it overnight, let it freeze, and take care of it in the morning when you shoot it. Have you ever heard of people doing that before?
No, the only time that people leave something overnight is, you know, if they shoot something and they try to trace a blood trail and then they'll come back in the morning. But
Yeah.
other than that, it's like, let's go ahead and gut this thing and get it hanging and let it start dripping.
Yep, exactly. The gal average around 500 pounds, but very tough and thick shoulders. Okay, so a lot like caribou, but probably tougher shoulders. Cool. And very distant. Adamsville. Cool. Okay, I'm not exactly sure where Adamsville is, man. I grew up in Jonesboro, Georgia. Very tasty.
Georgia, far from me.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so it's near that Tennessee boundary. Hit the like button, please. Thank you. Fast Charge 762. How much luck are you having? Much luck making primers? Cool. Let's see. Panzer NZ, Red Stag, Fallow Deer, Sika. Don't know of any whitetail, pigs, tar, and like tar, like the Klingons, like tar from the Klingons. Star Trek. I'm a big star. I'm a science fiction nerd. I'm actually rewatching Stargate Atlantis right now for like the 17th time. And there's a legend of moose roaming in the bottom of the South Island. Really? Of a moose roaming in the bottom of the South Island. That's cool.
Is it called Sasquatch? Is that what y'all?
Are the Sasquatches there? Yeah, Chuck would like to know. You can hunt during primitive weapon season in Mississippi with a single shot 4570. I know, I've done it. I have actually hunted deer with a single shot 4570 in primitive weapon season in Mississippi. So, yep, I have done that. My old H&R single shot 4570. So let's see, or any single shot old black powder rounds. Yeah, anything. So the Mississippi rule was anything designed, any gun design or copy of that gun design and caliber designed before the year 1900. So a lot of people shoot 35 Wayland because of that, because they can reach out 400 or 500 yards with a single shot rifle with the right thing. Let's see. Alaskan Dabbers is here. Replacing Amble on Boxer Primus is the biggest pain. Sounds like it. What do you think of the Glock Model 23 Gen 4 40 caliber? Now that they have better chamber support, I had a Gen 2 or Gen 3 or whatever it was in 2001 blow up on me. That was probably bad ammo from Federal that did the job, and it took me until 2 years ago when I started the channel to buy another 40. I carry Glock 19. I like the size of the guns is about the same. It's a Gen 4. So yeah, my 40s now are not Glocks, but that being said, I have 10 millimeter Glocks, which so chamber support is one. Yeah, if you're going to carry really hot 40 loads, you put a KKM barrel in it, I think. But other than that, yeah, no, it's a great gun. Nowadays, now that they're not trying to load 40 back up to 10 millimeter standards, load 10 millimeter standards, and they're downloading 10 millimeter to 40 standards. Now that they're doing that, you're probably all right with that. What do you think, Pat?
I keep an RTF2 Glock 23. That is my backup gun. If everything fails, that is what I'm coming out with. So, but RTF2 it's a Gen 3. It's before the Gen 4. Some guys call them a 3.5, but it just doesn't exist. But yeah, that is my current. If everything else fails, guns.
All right. Sorry, I'm behind in the chat, guys, but about 10 minutes behind. Mr. E, my favorite is a 4-gauge shotgun. All right. I hope it's mounted to the top of something like a half track. Hello from Maine. What do you think of the Glock 23 40 cal? There we go. We got that one already. Luke Tilly we already got a super chat. Oh man, Brandon asked this a bunch. He wanted to know what we thought about it, and then someone told him to stop spamming. Hey, I don't mind. I mean, hey, I just hadn't got to it yet, man. We're going through.
It's engagement.
That's exactly, yeah. You can put.
I've even learned that bad
800 different videos and 800 times in each video. I'd appreciate it. All right, you can spat cham that or comment spam, comment spam. What do you call that? Spam comment, whatever. No, it's cool. Yeah, I don't have no problem with it. Yeah, so
spam.
All right,
that sounds rough.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Luke. Pretty excited. I got the winning bid on Jeff Quinn's Gunblast 6.5-inch 5-inch Smith & Wesson. Sweet.
I saw that.
All right, let's see.
Bando might have been having internet problems too. I'll hang up and suddenly just have like 4 comments come out of it.
Yeah, I hate that. Thanks. You're welcome. Let's see. Don't troll the chat. He'll get to your question. Yep. All right. So somebody put him in that timeout. You don't have many black bears and they are extremely protected. Yeah. But that's true. Let's see. Shout out to the Blue Wrench. I guess everybody was annoyed. I hadn't got to it.
Admin Blue Wrench.
I caught a ring-tailed cat in my house. Had to cut a hole in the wall to get it out. I was scratching for days. Cutest wild animal I ever saw. Oh, interesting. I'm allergic to cats, so Pennsylvania and Ohio is full of coyotes. No, and they're bad. And they're bad. Yeah, I bet so. So that's that. Hola, how you doing? So we got 100. This is the most people I've ever had watching my chat right now. 127. And so, oh yeah, we're coyotes everywhere in the dirty South. No limits on coyotes here. Open season for them all year round. It's that way here too. We open in Alaska. We got coyotes in Alaska. So,
well, I can hear them screaming past the spur, but I can't see. We've got what we call the spur, which is the old road, and I can hear them screaming every night, but I can't get the landowner permission. There's one guy just north of here. He is overrun with them, and he told me about it. I said, I'd love to help you with that. And he said, no, the last hunter stole my tractor. And he had another word for it, but he said, coyotes don't steal your bleep tractor. So he just said, you're not hunting it because coyotes don't steal my tractor. So that's anybody that does anything wrong on a landowner's property, that's what you do. You keep other people that with good intentions from being able to get on that property.
Yep. All right, just picked up a titanium 44 mag. If you're ever interested, trying it out for some punishment. Yeah, sometime. Let me talk to my orthopedic surgeon. We'll be good to go
I've
after
got a
that.
titanium 357 here that just hurts.
So, guy in Mississippi shot a whitetail with a bow. He found it 3 hours later. Half-eaten, bear tracks and coyote tracks everywhere. No Sasquatch, though. So,
who said it wasn't a Sasquatch with putting coyote and bear tracks on the ground?
Yeah, now you sound like Chook. He's asking how much both of us weigh combined. I don't know because I'm not going to get close enough to that man to step on the scale with him. So,
well, see, the thing is I'm in Tennessee and he's in Alaska. So if we were to be combined, we'd be everything between here and there. I guess a few million pounds.
That's true. Yeah, true. Or if you and I were standing at the edge of Alaska, we'd like tip the whole continent. So
that would be it.
There. Yeah. I don't know. All right. So, cannon blast my house just now. Probably a stupid Dodger fan. Oh,
that was.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear. Open all year here in PA, but the dang things are call shy. Yeah. I've heard that you can go to Waffle House and get grease and just soak the grease, and they love that stuff, and that's how you get coyotes to come in, and just put that grease out on things. I've actually heard something different, but I don't think I can describe it here on YouTube, nor do I think it's ethical. So even for coyotes.
You're no evil. You're no evil.
Aaron Addison, guns suck. Exactly. Yeah, you're right. Exactly. You don't have freedom of speech because of anybody's guns, because men with guns weren't willing to fight up for that. So you don't have freedom of religion or freedom of choice or the right to go make as much money as you want to without being, now you are being taxed like crazy. So never mind. All right. Yeah. You make sense. All right. Had 2 coyotes come in front of my blind this morning, just out of bow range. Ooh, just out of bow range. Buy him a tractor. Zeus is telling you to buy him a tractor.
Yeah, just preemptively be like, yeah, here's a tractor. I won't steal it.
Here's my tractor. You can borrow it while I hunt on your land.
Here, let me just preemptively buy you a tractor. Or I could take that 40 or 50 grand and go buy my own piece of property.
There you go. Alert, red alert. I don't know what he means by that. You're gonna have to. I had a bobcat kill 5 chickens, shot it at 50 yards with double-aught buck. I saw pellets hit all around it, but I don't know for sure if it got hit. It ran away. Ooh, wow. Did it come back and kill any more chickens? That's the question, because if it got educated, then it was good. All right, we have coyotes, fox, bobcat, wolf, lynx, cougars, and black bear in Minnesota. Oh, yeah. And you have moose in northern Minnesota, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Brass tart, I hear they make better pets than cats. The old miners used to keep them for pest control. Okay, the ringtails? Yeah. Dogs are a problem. Coyotes don't get my chickens. It's the dogs. Yeah, there's a lot of wild dogs in places that people don't know about. So, talk about an unethical method. I know a guy that hung meat off of a big treble hook. Yeah, that's going to get me banned from YouTube right there. So, yeah, that's bad. Yeah, I saw the ringtails tame easy. Yeah. All right. I don't know how.
No,
I don't.
That's being amosexual. I have the answer to that. Keep that up. There it is. Homosexual, amosexual. Oh no. In a moment of weakness, it's called amoholic. Sorry.
There you go. Wow, I caught up with the chat. I finally caught up with the chat. So there we go. All right, y'all. It's been an hour and 44 minutes. Sorry, you could tell me. Oh, oh, Chico Y said the red alert was for the trolls gun suck comment. Trolls come out late at night. Apparently so. All right. Sorry, you can tell me to shut up. No, I'm not gonna tell you to shut up. I'm just saying. Anyway.
No.
So it's been an hour and 45 minutes. I tried to go for an hour, and we were having so much fun. And then reading all that ATF bullcrap at the beginning from the lawyer, the Wiley Law. So, yeah, that took a while. So, anyway, tell us what you got coming up on your channel, Pat.
Well, I have got some ARFCOM stuff coming up. I've got the Mantis X10, which absolutely, are you familiar with it? It tells on your trigger pull.
Oh, okay.
It's just like your phone. When you turn your phone and the screen changes, it has accelerometers in it. So as you're shooting and you're pulling the trigger, it has 3 different colors. One of them is you getting your sight picture. The other is you pulling the trigger, and the other one is the recoil and what it does. It's really neat. So that I'm going to be spending some time with it. Of course, the Henry X4570 is coming up. I'm hoping to take out that Marlin Dark and go shoot it. And then I've got that Tokarev, the suppressed Tokarev, which is really neat. So yeah, that's what's coming up on the channel here shortly.
Cool.
How about you?
I've got 5 preps before you do the election coming out. Like as soon as I get it done, which is like I was working on it today. I thought I would have it done by now. And then tomorrow on my weekly upload, I've got 6.5 Creedmoor versus 6.5 by 284 Norma. I got my GP100 back from Ruger, and they took my GP100 and did it up in the Ruger Wrangler bronze color. I
remember seeing that picture. Yeah.
And my dumbass scratched it the first time I came out.
Hey, dude, the first scratch is so liberating. I have figured that out. I'll buy guns that are used and already scratched, and it feels so good. But then I'll buy a new one, and I'll scratch it. And it's just at that point, we got it over with. It's liberating.
Yeah. So, but it you know, in the 10mm versus 357 mag video and the other video I did with it, it chronographed nowhere near the box. Like in everything I shot with it, it was 160 to 200 feet per second less than the box. And it's a 6-inch 357 Magnum. That should be the box test, right? And
yeah.
So like I got it back and the cylinder was shot out, the barrel was shot out, the forcing cone didn't fit right. And they basically replaced everything but the frame and the grips. and Ruger did it all for free for me. They just wanted to see on the channel. Now I won't guarantee they'll do it for you or anybody else. They might do it for you, Pat, because you have a channel, but I can't guarantee they'll offer all the same services for free. But all right, Darren Honey says it's liberating with your truck too once you get a scratch on it.
The tree fell on my truck. And no, we don't hate guys from Kentucky. If they know how to act, we're cool with them. Buffalo, I really like Buffalo. He's got a channel, Buffalo's Outdoors. Gun Doctor TV. I have met Gun Doctor and Mrs. Gun Doctor a couple of times. They're cool. Kentucky people are generally about the same with me. But as for the truck and liberated, I walked out of the house and I looking down, I said, why are all these pine cones everywhere? I mean, pine cones, just as far as the eye could see. And then I hit the button on my truck and I looked up at my truck and there it was. There's that pine tree just on the truck. All it managed to do on the driver's side door handle, it just dropped this little, of course, it's a black truck, so it shows it. But yeah, a tree hit my truck and all I got was this little, it ain't that long. But it was liberating. The first scratch is already there.
Yeah. Desert Eagle 50 takes all day. Yeah, cool. Man, I hope you kill everything with that. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, I haven't killed anything with a handgun in my life, other than like small game, you know, with the 22. Said Hearth, hey there. Hey, how's it going? We're about to actually end. So anyway, but yeah, I have no problem with people from Kentucky. I mean, I'm writing in Rand Paul for president because he's the only pro 2A guy I really like. So, I mean, you know, I know people are going to get on me and say, oh, you got to vote for Trump because then Biden will get elected, though, you know, eating a turd versus eating diarrhea. I mean, what do you want to, you're eating crap either way, you know? So, all right, last question. If you could have only one gun for hunting, what would it be? And my answer still remains the same: 18-inch medium heavy barrel AR-10 308 that I would custom build. And I'm pretty much sure that's what you have in the background behind your desk somewhere, right, Pat? Yours is 18-inch or something. Yeah.
Yep.
If I could only have one gun for hunting, that it would be that. Now, if you're talking about one gun period, it would be that. But if you're talking about one gun for hunting, everything, I would. My 7mm rim mag that I already have is set up perfectly. It's Remington 700. It was a cheap Black Friday special, but the barrel works good. I got it in a nice stock, and got detachable mags now and a great scope on it. So, I mean, I would take my 7mm rim mag on anything but elephant. So, Chuck, what's this other fella's channel? This is Pat RMG. So that's his name, Pat RMG. So let me find that. Just so everybody knows, I do have the hoodies still for sale for the Alaskan Ballistics hoodies. I'm not wearing the t-shirt version of it tonight, but I do have these still for sale. So I just put the link in the chat from Custom Ink. I've only got 9 of them sold, and I bought 8 of them for Christmas gifts. So here's a Christmas gift for me. I advertised my channel. But anyway, it's got the Alaska flag with all gun right laws or infringements on it. So that's that.
Still trying to ease up funds for discretionary things. That's the only. I'd love to have merch from every channel, but like I said earlier, finishing that house, that taps you.
Oh God, yeah. So
the contract on it, but it's probably going to be like 45 to 52 days before I get any money.
Yep, there you go. So and then you're going to buy me a 10mm. Dan Wesson Bruin, right? So
10mm, that'd be pretty sweet.
That'd be a great thing to buy me. I appreciate that, man. All right, so all right. Well, everybody, God bless. Take care. We went almost 2 hours. We will see you at the range.
Rock and roll. Thanks for watching, guys.